Right, let's start here. President Cyril Ramaphosa has arrived in Washington ahead of his meeting with President Donald Trump on Wednesday. The meeting is aimed at resetting strategic relations with Washington after they broke down earlier this year when Trump took office. Newzroom Afrika senior politics reporter Ziyanda Ngcobo is live for us in Washington, D.C. Ziyanda, once again, a good evening for us on our side, I know. So a lot already having taken place and so much anticipation. You got to speak to Vincent Magwenya a little bit earlier, and what stood out for me was when he said that they're not intending to spend a lot of time dealing with the dispelling of this narrative of a persecution, but saying that they have other priorities for this visit. Talk to us about those highlights and what else you've seen since that arrival.
Absolutely, Naledi. I mean, and I think many would agree with Magwenya that there's absolutely no need to actually spend time dispelling those rumors, given the fact that, as one person said, and in fact it was Clayson Mongela who said, the truth is stubborn, it's there. You can't deny it. What they'll be focusing on is the resetting of these bilateral relations, and that's why trade will become important. Magwenya not concerned that they'll be subjected to any form of humiliation, and that they will have a productive meeting with Trump. The president, as I speak to you right now, is in a meeting, with his advance team and the officials that are already here. Bumped into Parkstow just inside the hotel. He's also just arrived, not long before the president. He's the one who actually received the president, and he is also going to be a critical component when discussing then some of the deals, the wanting to extend AGOA, and even if then it's not under the banner or the auspices of AGOA, some kind of continuation of the trade deals that are already in place between South Africa and the United States. And so in that regard, it would seem that trade is going to be key. But, of course, the optics and what could be on the horizon is something that we've all been talking about over the last couple of days. I want us to listen into what Vincent Magwenya said when he was asked about whether or not they anticipate any kind of humiliation being meted out at the hands of Trump to our president, given the fact that the same happened to Zelensky, and he too had also been invited to the Oval Office.
The president is prepared for the moment. He's looking forward to it. He's highly enthused, and we're looking forward to a very successful meeting aimed at resetting the relationship between South Africa and the United States.
What do you think it will take for the South African government to dispel the falsehoods and to reset this relationship, as you've consistently said, the strategy, tactics as you enter this meeting?
The whole world knows there is no such as a persecution of any particular race in South Africa. So we don't need to spend any effort dispelling something that is well known that is not there.
So if you're not wasting your time on that, what are you going to be spending your efforts on?
We'll be focusing on opportunities that will underpin this resetting of the relationship, and we're looking forward to ironing out whatever issues of concern that there may be.
So by and large, an economic discussion expected to take place, and there's also been lots to talk about in relation to how the president has prepared for this moment. Vincent Magwenya saying that he's not nervous at all. Listen to this.
No, he's not apprehensive at all. We don't think President Trump invited President Ramaphosa for that kind of treatment. There are issues of concern on the side of the U.S. and on our side as well. It is possible that those issues may trigger a rather robust discussion. That's all in the nature of these engagements. But we believe that the kind of courtesy that we are accustomed to, that heads of state extend to one another, will be in full display. No, the issues are different. President Ramaphosa is not President Zelensky. He's got his own style of engaging. He's got his own style of communicating. And so we cannot attribute that event to what may or may not happen.
Also, another question, Naledi, is around whether or not President Ramaphosa will meet with Elon Musk. You remember that in September last year, the two met on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in September last year, and which also raised a lot of questions from opposition parties as to whether or not the president was pandering to business, in particular Elon Musk, whom we know has had the ear of Donald Trump. That relationship coming in question in recent times, many believing that he won't be in charge of Deutsche much longer, and that the anti-immigrant sentiment that has been affecting many other nationalities is actually now affecting him, and that some within the Trump administration are actually also saying that, well, Elon Musk, you too aren't American. So Starlink was something that the president and Musk had discussed briefly last year, but you'll know that our employment equity laws, and in particular the Electronic Communications Act, stipulate that you need to have at least 30% of BEE in order to obtain a license. So Magwenya saying that, well, they'll see. They're waiting to hear what the program is, and that's exactly what that briefing is about, the one that the president is set to be in right now. The program of the day then for tomorrow and Wednesday will be outlined to us a little later on. But a lot of discussion around how the president prepares and what his officials will be getting up to over the next 48 hours or so.
Yeah. And of course, Ziyanda Ngcobo, our senior politics reporter, will be watching all of that for us and bringing it to us live here on Newzroom Afrika. Thank you so much. She's live in Washington, D.C.